want a better life. Let's make it real. This is a better life. From scars to stars, from pain to bulletproof. Teresa, better life. A better life with you. Talking news, pop culture life, love and scandal, heart to heart. Teresa, better life. Real is where the reset starts. No playing small. We rise, we fall. We laugh, we do it all. A better life is one brave call. Teresa, better life. Let's build a better life. Let's build a better life. A better life. Teresa, better life.
Good afternoon, everybody. Whoever is here yet, we'll wait. My husband just brought me in a glass of wine that I had requested, just in case later I want a little sip around, 5 o'clock. I said we'd start early, so I wanted to hop on here and make sure that everything worked and the lighting was okay and the sound is okay, and to catch up on all the happenings that we've had in the past 24 hours. Well, just a little over 24 hours. Hey, how about give me a shout in the comments? Say hello. Say where you're watching from if you want. Let's see. I don't know if I can tell. Let's see. I have some on Facebook and some on YouTube. Let me know about the sound too. So we're going to be discussing Candace Owens, the news of TPUSA. We are going to discuss some of the posts that we've seen on X. I don't know if you guys have looked at the comments over from yesterday's and the day before from the live stream, but we had some comments there, and so I wanted to discuss all of that. There was a Candace had an invitation yesterday. So she had an invitation from TPUSA to go to Arizona, to travel to Arizona for a live streaming event. And let's see if I can pull that up for you. Let me go. I'm going to add to this stage and do my layout that I wanted. It's not doing the layout I wanted. There we go. That's the one. Okay. So actually it's on X. So let me get out of here. I'm going to remove that and add, let's see, stop screen. I'm going to add my X. Where is it? X. Okay. So I'll share my X screen. Okay. So let's see. We're going to go to this. So Blake Neff, I'll pop out of here so you guys can see it better. Let's make this bigger. Okay. So I'm just learning. Bear with me. I'm learning all this technology. Let me know how the sound is. Just pop over in the chat. LOL, is live stream watch parties the new I have attend? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Watch party. I think it's a fun idea just because we can talk and chat a little bit better here than we can over there. If you have an extra screen, when Candace goes on, if you want to hit that so that it's playing. So, I definitely want to keep people there. It's not like, I don't want to take anything away from that at all. I just want to add to our experience here. Anyway, so Blake Neff, he says on this, the live stream was announced on the show Wednesday. That was the big invite. So he sent this tweet out like around midnight last night. So he says at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time on Monday, December 15th, a collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Real Candace. To set the record straight, once and for all, prior to the opening of the American Fest, we'll be live streaming from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. So he gives her like this, let us know by the end of today. And he tweets it out. He doesn't invite her through email or a text or a telephone call or anything like this. This was the invitation. That was it. Little Blake, I really thought that that I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, thinking, maybe he's just, sort of a pawn, and like maybe he's kind of innocent in all this. And this just hit me wrong. And it worries me that they want her to go in person, because definitely she could do that remotely and join them live. If you remember yesterday, she did offer to donate all proceeds from anything like that she receives to TPUSA. So anyways, let's see. Like, let me read this comment. Let me show you guys what this comment is. Let me pop this. Can I do this at the same time? There's like 3 that have just popped up all of a sudden. Surely not a coordinated attempt. Oh, there's 3 live streams, are you saying? Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it to sign up if it, I think they're really going hard at Candace, and any, I'm any supporters. So anyways, Blake Neff sent this invitation. I was up, like, guys, till like 2:30 in the morning researching. And I saw this and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So Candace responds. Let me, see if I can go back. She says, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability, and chose to instead tweet this information out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work for in person, and 2 p.m. Is also the literal time I do my podcast live every day, which you knew. But we will happily cancel the daily podcast and we'll join you guys virtually instead of for the live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in. I've not seen a reply. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but already people are jumping on X saying she turned it down, she's not going, blah, 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 blah. Those of us who really support and appreciate and love what Candace is doing to find truth in all of this, we're saying don't go. Don't go, like, push for virtual. And we're asking the question, why do you guys need her there physically? Like, why does she have to be there in person? I don't understand that. So, and then of course, then, there's some popping in and saying, saying they're going to try to kill you either beforehand or after. Let's see. This is a long, I'm going to call you JKH for short, but I think they just there's a comment. I think they just want to get her to drink something. We live in the 21st century. We can converse digitally. Thank you. Yes. I hope she doesn't go to Steph, and Christ is King. Always. So it's scary. Like, to us, we see what happened to Charlie. We know, because if we're involved in this, whether you're brand new into looking at, like, conspiracy theory or into this and just now starting to get a clue about what our government has done, will do, what they are really capable of, and the agencies, then you know, we're nervous about that. And so actually it's interesting because my son, I have two sons. Well, I have three, but two of them here where I live, not in the house, but in the same state, in the same town. They're twins. Anyways, one of my twins doesn't follow Candace, doesn't even follow what I do on social media. So, but he does know there was a death threat on Candace, but he came over and he said he had a dream that Candace got shot and was in the hospital. So that was scary, especially that he's not invested like this. Like I'm like, give me a dream. I'll have a dream, about this. Like, tell me everybody that's involved, and like, we'll like go get them digitally. Not non-violently. But yeah, so that was interesting. And he doesn't dream a ton of stuff. There are times he have had dreams and they came to fruition. But yeah, that was a little bit scary. Say, JKH, I mean, let's see. I'm going to put my glasses on because I have a hard time seeing the screen there. Is that even going to help? No. Okay. When I show it, let me pop it out. Okay. I mean, think about it. A bacteria added to water can take months to show symptoms and can be blamed on natural causes. Exactly. I mean, there's any number of things that they could do that we know that they have the capacity to do. Car accident, any number of things. And yeah, it would look suspicious to us, to like all of us, a lot of people not who don't like what Candace is doing. But I mean, they could turn around and say, gosh, that wouldn't be us. Like, why would we even do that? That would look too crazy, like, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know. She feels really safe going. She feels confident nothing will happen. Of course, the rest of us are like, but why are they pushing for in person? And this really, I don't understand why push for in person if there's not something up. So Christ is King. So that's that. So then, what is her name? Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just, that happens. So Erica Kirk is touring over in New York, and she looks very different from the other times where she's taken the stage, all done up, lots of makeup, teased up hair, like leather pants or the lacy thing. So she's showing up in a bit of a different way in New York. Let me see if I can pop this up for you guys. It's a completely different dress. Let me see. So I'm going to have to pop out of this one and remove that from the stage. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. I have to go to different, I have to stop sharing one screen to pop into another screen. So let's see, share screen. And I'll figure out how to have this all set up here soon too. So, okay, so the Huffington Post has this article. Where is it? Oh, Facebook's going to do better for me too, I think. Let me go like this. While I do that, while I search this up. Goodness gracious. I'm just going to go Facebook here. And I'll say HuffPost. Okay, here we go. So here's what she's wearing. Let me take myself off here. Yep. Okay. So look at what she's wearing compared to, let's see, can I just click on this? Any more? Okay. Anyways, you guys get the picture. See what she's wearing. Very soft makeup, not that those dark eyes and the done up hair and all of that. It's this knit. Go like this. There we go. This little knit dress. It's really conservative. So look at her. So she looks gorgeous. She looks beautiful, but very different. But she's concerned that people are going to be putting off having kids so that women can have careers. Let me see your comments. Ethan Klein just destroyed another YouTuber for streaming his content. Oh, I don't know who Ethan Klein is. So, yeah. So for streaming, who's Ethan Klein? Should I look him up? Is he a YouTuber? And then, yeah, they have obviously changed tactics. I don't blame Erica. She was born to be a Masonic puppet. That was copyrighted and pre-planned. He went full Lex Luthor. Okay. So anyways, so that's that one. And then let's see, what was the other one? Oh yeah. Well, Yahoo. So the news, mainstream media still isn't reporting on this. Why can't I do this? Okay. Mainstream media still isn't reporting on this, but it was on Yahoo. The headline reads, Charlie Kirk producer hits back at Candace Owens, accusing her of inciting harassment to those close to him, which is, I mean, pretty much what he did. But she has wanted to talk to them and has recommended that they all get together and chat for a while. So, yeah. So that was copyrighted. I don't know what you guys are talking about, the copyrighted thing. Lex Luthor. Okay. Anyway, the Times of India. If you look up Candace Owens, you'll see the Times of India. They're reporting it. None of our people, nobody in the United States is doing that. So that's what's going on with that, and we still haven't heard. I doubt that they will want to. For whatever reason. I will be happily surprised if we are wrong and they'll let her join them virtually. But I don't know if they're insisting upon that. I don't know. Oh yeah, and TMZ reported that The Game, if you remember yesterday, she was talking about The Game is coming out with the song tomorrow on Friday. Assassination of Candace Owens. So TMZ talked to him about that, and he's saying, yeah, or at least they're reporting that he's saying it's not about, her dying in that sense, but that it's deep. So I'm going to go tomorrow and listen to that song and break down the lyrics. So let's see. Acid. I'm going to butcher these names, you guys. Acid cassetic. And it says that's because he says, or they say, the Times of India is jobless. Speaking of someone who has read them. So the Times of India is jobless. You guys know more about this. I had no idea. So I was going in searching just to see if anybody's picking this up from legacy media. No big surprise they're not. But I was like, the Hindustan Times, Indian Times. Oh yeah, Media had the reporter on there where they were joking. She showed it on her show where he was asking about Candace Owens at the Pentagon. press secretary laughs out loud with that question. That happened yesterday. Well, I don't know when anyways, we saw it yesterday. Candace showed us that, but yeah, so those are pretty much, that's on the first page. So you click to the second page, still nothing. Charisma Magazine, Times of India is the biggest one. And Facebook, some social medias. And then TMZ reported that Candace responds to the game addressing the assassination of Candace Owens song title. Yeah, I don't expect the mainstream media to cover it because nobody's paying them to do it. That's how that works. Are you guys familiar with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively story at all? That's been happening. The harassment allegations that she brought about against him has been going on for over a year now, since all that hit, and really a lot of legacy media didn't cover that. So if you're covering that, our freedom of speech and our privileges as reporters, journalists, content creators are being challenged. So Popcorn Planet he was subpoenaed by Blake Lively. Like there was hundreds, I think 104 in total, she had subpoenaed content creators because they were commenting on the trial, on the evidence that they were seeing, and she wanted their sources. She wanted all their information. Most of them were dismissed or withdrawn, and Popcorn Planet didn't get his withdrawn, but the judge is saying you don't have reporter privilege because you're not a reporter, because you don't work for a television station. You don't work for a magazine. You're not getting your paycheck from a television station or a magazine, so you don't count. So they're going to appeal. Anyways. Yeah, she does. Who makes claims and backtracks? Yeah, so USA, let me see, do you watch the live stream with me or her? So what I'm recommending, I mean, if you have a second screen that you can stream on, what I'm recommending is that you like play it on there too, or like if you can have it on the phone and like comment if you want on my channel too, then we can see each other's comments better than we can on hers because it's really slow because I'm a small channel. So yeah, then we can talk and pause. And I feel like you guys tell me, I worry about pausing a ton because sometimes you just want to hear what Candace says. You don't want to hear what I want to say necessarily, unless I feel like I want to say something that I think is good or important, or I just feel like blabbing something, then I will. But you let me know like what you guys prefer too, because we're in this together. Girl, low-key India, heated that Candace suddenly stopped on reported that she stopped on Brigitte Macron. Obviously, the Kirk shooting was tragic and needs to be investigated, but we need Macron updates ASAP. I wonder if it seems like they're pretty quiet. Oh, Candace makes claims and backtracks. Yeah, I mean, it is like an investigation. I feel like that's part of needing to be patient because it's an investigation and she's throwing it all out there, all different possibilities and what she thinks, and trying to put it all together, like a jigsaw puzzle when you have like those 600 pieces and you like throw them all out and you have to like just start sorting them. What I love is that we're doing it together and she gets information. I mean, those of us who are more like invested, that we're not necessarily doing the investigations like she has the mama sleuth doing and all of that, and the daddy sleuth and all of that. Obviously, I can't do all that. But I can do this for sure and support her online. Okay, cool. I can stream on my TV. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Good. She's insinuated that TPUSA had a hand in Charlie Kirk's murder, but when they respond, she went, I'm just asking questions. So, yeah, that's true. She does, and she is, and they're pointed questions. And she thinks she's getting close, and she thinks she knows, and that's it, and that I can understand some people's frustration with that, and I want answers too, but they can only come as, I mean, it's not like we know exactly where to go, where to look. But yeah, she's, I mean, I think that's her protecting herself too, right? She's saying, I'm just asking questions. So, not necessarily accusing, but she is asking questions, and she's pretty, I think part of it is, honestly, I do feel like part of it is to flush them out, to really goad them into talking and to having a conversation. So, I'm going to make sure I stop sharing that screen so I can have YouTube ready, because we're getting close. I'll put that up in a minute here. Let me share my screen again. And I want it to do my layout. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So we have, what is her title today? Just plain lying. So I wonder what she's going to say, because I know, look at these comments. Look at that, you guys. Let me see if I can pull the screen down a little bit. Holy cow. Look, can we even slow that down ourselves? I know she can slow down how many times each person can comment, but that's crazy. How does she even get through those? And how can she tell which ones are like the good ones? I guess you have to pay. Let's see. See another comment here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of insinuation going on. There is. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like what we can agree on. Somebody was saying on one of my streams that I did that they were what was that? Oh, okay. They were arguing, kind of the same way, and that she shouldn't be insinuating, and and that, and we should just trust the investigation. But to be honest, I feel like it's not our lack of trust in the system isn't our fault, right? We distrust the system because we've seen the system, and we've seen the lies, and a lot of things we don't find out till years later. And so I think in this case, she's like, we're not gonna do this. We're not going to wait years to find out the truth, and we may wait years, right? It's possible. So, but she's like, we're not doing that here. And the only way that we can make this happen is to be obnoxious. That's the truth. Like, we have, being loud, being supportive, coming together as a group to do that, and to make sure that we keep light on this. Because when we do just leave them to their own, they don't do great things sometimes, a lot of times. I had posted, you guys, I don't know, in yesterday's live stream, I sent a post with some links about USS Liberty, the interview she had with one of the guys, something Turney, Philip Turney. Anyways, it's really good. There's also somebody else doing coming out with a documentary about it as well. They had a really good clip in there. I'm not streaming on TikTok. I don't have the ability to do that yet I use StreamYard, and I don't have the ability yet to do that from my computer, like, and do, because you have to enter a key or something. And so, yeah, I can't do that from my computer. and multiple places. Let's see. But you don't make crazy claims in investigations and rile us up against people, only later to say adjustment is suspicious. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But I think she believes, I know she's not doing this for money. I know that she believes when she's onto something, she believes. And maybe it's a little bit of truth from all of those. Let's see. They should have her. Let's see. I'm going to put this up here, but you don't. Okay. Then you don't understand how news works. Remember COVID lockdowns, hate your neighbors, etc. That was crazy. And people did. People hated their neighbors. And that's what they want to do. They want to divide us. Because if we're talking about each other, we're not talking about them. If we're thinking about each other, we're not thinking about them. They should have joined her answering questions right away. They should have. They really should have. And they could have. And they thought they'd get away with that. They didn't count on us. They did not count on us. They didn't count on Candace. Mama Bear. Let's see. Do we skip through the ads here? Yeah, what I did was I put her on mute and then we had a little conversation on her ads and still had her ads on the screen so that she can still have, so that we're still having those displayed for her. Her chat hates Erica. It's kind of sad. I hope you're streaming on TikTok too. I have totally stopped scrolling to watch. Oh, nice. Okay. Why would you respond to claims? Yeah. Have you listened to our episode in whole? Which episodes? USA. Have you listened to our episodes in whole? Are you making a comment to somebody else? JFK got shot. And people said the government knew more than they were saying. And that those people were just crazy. Yep, COVID, JFK, USS Liberty. I have a whole list. I'll share that after this. I'll send out a post with a list of some of the conspiracy theories that have been proven. Here we go, guys. And you guys can see that. I got a big list there going. Gotcha. And I want to make sure, should we have sound right now? I think we should. This part's quiet, right? You should write a list, JFK, JKH, JKHG, blah, 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 blah. Alphabet. I'll call you Alphabet. You've got the whole kitchen sink in there. Yeah. You know what? You could do that. You should email it to me when you do that list. Oh, there's so many. Insanity. So with StreamYard, I can stream to Instagram too. That's just not as user friendly. And I will investigate TikTok more. I've got to call them because it seems like there should be a way, and StreamYard says there is. So I just haven't found it able to work yet. It's sad. About Erica Kirk, it makes me sad too. Like, people are hating on her.
All right, you guys, happy Thursday. Fun little update for you.
Give me a thumbs
up.
up.
When the clock struck midnight last night and Cinderella's carriage turned back into a pumpkin, Turning Point USA decided it was a good time to issue a confirmation plus an ultimatum, a time and a date for our debate. I should tell you that they did not send me an email. They did not send me a text message. They did not coordinate anything with me. They simply made this midnight announcement and gave it a countdown. Got 24 hours to respond. So we're going to discuss that. And let me just tell you, Turning Point is so done after this. You just cannot survive being disingenuous. We also are going to get back into the Egyptian plains today. They are also working very hard to try to convince us that that was nothing. That's just what Egyptian military planes do. Fly around the skies in the middle of Provo when Charlie Kirk is being assassinated. Well, it turns out maybe these planes might be the key to everything, not nothing. Welcome back to Candace.
Can you guys hear okay? Here, Candace.
I feel like I have to ask this question on behalf of the entire world. What the hell is going on at Turning Point USA? What's going on? I want to know what is happening over there in Arizona. Who is in charge exactly? Who is making the decisions? Who is calling the shots on all of these terrible and extremely obvious PR moves? Just, I think we all deserve to at least know what's going on. It feels like this company is going to turn into Enron, right? Amazing. And then just plummet overnight. I have just, the lack of transparency and also, ironically, the transparency of the things that they are doing. You can't make this up. They are just so obvious, so obviously trying to hide something. Before we get into their frankly bizarre late night tweet and ultimatum, I wanted to update you guys and let you know that Cam Higbee, remember that weird propagandist reporter who goes to the Pentagon press secretary and is like, don't laugh. Okay, ready? Don't laugh. And then proceeds to ask if they heard about France's assassination attempt on my life, which I also said that France was on the ground on the day that Charlie was assassinated. Yeah, this Cam Higbee, take a listen.
As well.
Yeah. So this is my first question, and don't laugh. Does the DOW have any evidence at all of a French military plot to assassinate Candace Owens?
That is an interesting question. Not that I'm aware of, but, interesting question. I can try to find out and maybe let you know. I think that might be more of a law enforcement matter, though.
So I brought that up because it was just so propagandist, so in our faces. I obviously did not think that this was going to lead back to Turning Point USA, but little did I know that we can add Cam Higbee onto our list of brand new. Everyone was just so brand new on that day. Everyone was so brand new leading up to Charlie's assassination. Well, Cam Higbee is on the payroll of Turning Point USA beginning in August of this year. So in theory, Cam Higbee, who was laughing off the idea of an assassination attempt, is being paid by the very organization that just had its leader assassinated in broad daylight in front of the entire world. I find that to be interesting. Who directed him to ask that question? I'm just asking questions. But first, after my episode yesterday, I expected, call me crazy, I expected that Turning Point would reach out to me via text, via email, that they would instantly follow up with their long diatribe and to be sincere and say, okay, here are some dates and some times. When would you like to make this happen? We're going to set up this great debate. Rather, instead of hearing anything from Turning Point, I heard from Skylar, my executive producer, this morning via text, which I'm going to show you, that I was somehow already 9 hours into a 24-hour countdown that was issued by Turning Point USA. Here is that text exchange with Skylar this morning. He 8:49 said, I'm sure you saw this. And I responded to him and I said, no, actually, I didn't see this. And I opened the tweet, which went out from Blake Neff around midnight last night. And here's what he wrote. I'm like, how am I supposed to see this? The live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. That would imply to the audiences that they reached out to me and we set a time. No, he goes on, at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time on Monday, December 15th, a collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace Owens to set the record straight once and for all prior to the opening of America Fest. Now, if it's going to be once and for all, it sounds pretty final. I mean, I would assume that I would have to contribute so that I could answer back, right? He goes on to write, we'll be live streaming, as he said from the beginning. This is going to be a live streamed event from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. Why? Well, I'm sorry. If you're saying this is happening on the 15th, why am I getting 24 hours to be able to respond to you? That doesn't make any sense. That for some reason feels like this is a BS offer and a really cheap PR move. There's no reason to issue a 24-hour response and to put this up in the middle of the night, A. B, there's no reason you didn't reach out to me and say, hey, does this work? Can I check some flights, see if I can get in there? Nope. This is it. They put this up there on the 15th. The last week of our show is live. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, that's the last week of our show. Obviously, it's a pretty busy week. So I'm like, okay, caught off guard by this, but you know what? I sense this is a PR move. So let me say, you've already said it's live streamed. If an event is live streamed, of course, we can make it work any place. I mean, at any time, any day, we can make this happen, right? Because you're live streaming it. There's no reason I can't show up electronically, okay? I respond to him and I say this, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability and instead chose to tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work in person. And 2 p.m. happens to also be the literal time that I do my podcast live every day, which you knew, but we will happily cancel the daily podcast and we'll join you guys virtually instead for the live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in, ? Okay. Okay. We're jumping here. Let's just make it happen. Okay. That's the beauty of the internet. That is the beauty of 2025. You can literally be any place, anytime. Just send me a link. Right? Any place, anytime, and we can join you virtually. In fact, today on their show, they had Andrew Colvett joining them virtually. So they have the tech capability to do this. We have tech capability to do this. Let's make this sincere and do this for people around the world who do not feel that you guys have been honest and forthcoming in terms of answers that you could obviously supply regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, if we needed any more evidence that nothing that they do is genuine and that this was an obvious planned PR move.
Yeah.
Here is what Blake tweeted out just now before we went live on the show.
Okay.
Yesterday, we made it clear that we would be scheduling a formal response to allegations and accusations that you have made. We have decided that that response will be delivered during a live stream, as he said, a live stream on December 15th. Thank you for your response, letting us know that you will not be joining the in-person conversation. We will be proceeding without you. Why are you proceeding without me? To have a conversation that is about me. Why am I getting 24 hours to respond? Why do you need me there in person if you are trying to be sincere and answer the very many questions that I have brought up on this show? You guys weren't even sincere in what you said yesterday. You told some glaring lies about things that I have said. So we're supposed to trust that you guys are going to handle this discussion all by yourselves and respond to any and every allegation. And this isn't just some planned PR for once and for all. Like I said, this is so obvious. He is being completely destroyed in the comments because what's happening at Turning Point, and I've seen this happen before, is they now believe that they are smarter than their audience, right? They think they are smarter than their small pocket donors. They can pull such an obviously crappy public move like this.
Predictable.
And pretend, well, we tried. You know, she said she could make it work and we tried, but it has to be physically, she needs to be in person, even though we have shown that we have people join us not in person and it's live streamed and we both have the tech capabilities to do that. If she doesn't make this work within 24 hours, we can now say that it's on Candace. This is a disaster, okay? It is a dumpster fire. That's the only way to describe what is happening at Turning Point USA today and right now is a dumpster fire. Everyone can read this for what it is. As I said, they are getting destroyed in the comments. Like, really, guys? Really? You're not going to just send us a simple live stream link and let us join you? We've had people on this show live streamed. We could have them tomorrow. I said, in response, I said to them, I'll make this work. I also attached to that tweet any day leading up to the 15th. We can do this virtually any place and any time. But no, they need to have it in person in Phoenix on December 15th, or they cannot have me at all. Is that passing the vibe check for you guys?
Nope.
Or does it seem like more posturing and more of a way for them to simply be in the room with themselves as they all lie without any person in the room to be able to fact check those lies, who have researched those lies and who have kept a list regarding the very many lies they are telling? Okay. I maintain that Turning Point is engaged in a cover up. That is how I feel. Okay. And like I said, it pains me to say that because this was once a bright spot in the conservative movement. It is no longer. They are using left-wing tactics, calling us names rather than answering us questions. It's everything Charlie stood against, okay? You don't need to call somebody a racist because they're asking questions about what happened with George Floyd leading up to his death, okay? That is a way that you skip over having to debate logically, is you name call. All Blake Neff did was name call yesterday. All the pastors have been doing. It's demonic, it's possessed, it's evil. How about you simply answer the questions and stop behaving like you're a radical leftist? Everyone can see what you're doing. That's what I want you guys to know. It's very clear, okay? I'm not asking people to defend me. You are just genuinely this transparent. So I am sorry that I cannot arrive in person because it's our last week on air before the holidays. I am still very happy, and I will say it again, to make that date and time and place because I'm here and we have the technological capabilities to make it so, make it work. We can move it around and we can do it even at midnight. I will stay awake and I will make that work for you at midnight, anytime. Just send me a link. In the meantime, we are just going to start investigating harder because you're not acting right, okay? You guys are not acting right, and you are not going to be able to get yourselves out of it by trying to be tricky like that. And like I said, the fact that you mentioned the Egyptian planes so many times yesterday without providing a valid answer or reason as to why we should just ignore military planes that are circulating that don't belong to our country, we're going to stay focused on that. And guess what? We have some more explosive revelations, which lead to more questions, which should be answered. And by the way, Turning Point, you should be concerned about. How odd, guys, that they're not concerned about the Egyptian planes. They don't even know how to feign concern. They don't even know how to sell to us in their best acting that they care about what transpired on that day. If you wanted to act like you cared, you would go, yeah, no, that is actually weird. I wonder what those planes are about. Instead, they're like, ha, 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 Egyptian planes. What we've had to endure this crazy talk about these Egyptian planes. You should be concerned. And I'm going to give more cause for concern, okay? Because as you guys will recall, 2 Egyptian planes, got it. For the sake of ease, we've labeled one blue, that's SUBND, which was the one that was transponding on the ground at Duncan Aviation on the day of Charlie's assassination, but it did not go anywhere. And then, of course, our now infamous yellow plane that carried on to Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware that morning, and has seemingly panicked the world, right? I'm reminding you that that flight from Provo to Delaware on the yellow plane had only 4 people on board. Okay, so that plane pretty much emptied out and then had only 4 people, one of which was a foreign dignitary. Now, one of those individuals I can confirm was using the name. And when I say using the name, we are dealing with governments, we are dealing with power, and these people just print passports, okay? These are obviously dead ends. But the name that one of those individuals was using is Waleed Mahmoud. Okay, Waleed Mahmoud. So we now know that of the 4 people that flew to Delaware, someone flew using the name Waleed Mahmoud. Okay, here is where it's going to get interesting. And I don't know if we can show that name, Chris, if we have that, but we can spell that out for them. I don't know if we have a graphic for that. But here's where it gets interesting, okay? Waleed Mahmoud had been in Provo before, okay? Specifically, Waleed Mahmoud came to Provo on May 27th of this year. Waleed Mahmoud came in, and we can also confirm that if you look up the plane that he was on, there is no transponder data which reflects that trip. He was not on the yellow plane. This is what's very interesting. He was aboard another Egyptian military plane, and the tail number for that plane is SUBTU. We're going to make that the purple plane, okay? Purple plane was not there on the day of Charlie's assassination, but we now have a person that was on that purple plane at the end of May, and then he is going to be on that plane again on the day of Charlie's assassination, both times in Provo. And we can drop that now into our timeline, okay? May 27th, SUBTU flies into Provo with Waleed Mahmoud aboard. Maybe it's a pilot, I don't know. Then we've got it departs on June 2nd, and it is not transponding, okay? So you cannot find a record of this on flight radar. Now, why is this compelling? Why is this especially compelling? Because the purple plane, SUBTU, as has been recently discovered by the work of other people, was once upon a time flown with the president of Egypt aboard. And by once upon a time, I mean back in 2023. This tweet came from Project Constitution. I'm going to read it in its entirety, okay? Confirmed. Candace Owens just got vindicated again. The Egyptian government website confirms that Egyptian President El-Sisi flew on SUBTU. Remember when Candace Owens dropped that bombshell exposing that Egyptian presidential plane as the mystery bird tied to those shadowy flights? And just, you know, he's confusing BTT. He's talking about BTU. We were always talking about BTT. Well, official receipts just landed straight from the Egyptian presidency website that on April 3rd, 2023, President El-Sisi touched down in Riyadh aboard that same exact aircraft, tail number SUBTU, for a high-level sit-down with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, okay? So BTU. And again, he's mixing it up with BTT, but we can now connect these two planes. Now, before you jump to conclusions and go, well, does this solve this? Does this mean that this was the Egyptian president on board? No, we can actually officially rule out that it was President El-Sisi that was aboard the jet on September 10th because he was photographed at a meeting with the Prime Minister of Tunisia, Sarah Zafrani, and it was in Egypt. We can also rule him out as having been the individual that was in Provo back in May because he was, again, photographed multiple times throughout that week in Egypt, okay? What we can, however, deduce is that Waleed Mahmoud is therefore not the president of Egypt, but he is almost certainly well acquainted with the president of Egypt because planes that fly presidents around, military planes, you're not going to just, you know, let just some random wealthy Egyptian aboard your jet, right? This person is going to be well acquainted with the president of Egypt, okay? So who is Waleed Mahmoud? Who is the person using the name Waleed Mahmoud? That is the question that we are left with. Now, again, maybe Waleed is the pilot. That could make sense. But what was he or she doing in Provo at the end of May and into early June? These are questions and honestly concerns that shouldn't be expressed by me. It should be expressed by every single person at Turning Point USA who is interested in getting to the bottom of who assassinated Charlie Kirk. It should be expressed by our government. It should be expressed by the Pentagon and their giggly press secretary and press members. We should be asking this question. Instead, we're just being gaslit. Everything was so above board on the day of Charlie's assassination that they just can't answer anything.
Yeah.
They just
Weird.
cannot
That's
answer
so weird.
a single question that we have, and they can't explain why they keep getting caught in little lies. They can't explain that. We're just all ridiculous, and we're harming Charlie's legacy
Crazy.
by doing the very thing that Charlie was doing when he died, right?
Stupid. We're
He is
called stupid.
responding to questions. He literally died answering questions from people that disagreed with him. And they're now trying to invert reality and make it seem as though asking uncomfortable questions is not something that Charlie would have done. Pointedly ridiculous. And again, ever so transparent. Anyways, I don't think they're going to be laughing long because I do think that we are getting close. We're going to take a brief break and get to some sponsors. All right, you guys, this holiday season, express your love with a very special gift of premium.
So yeah, I think so. They're using that name, but like she said, and I've been reading a lot about this and researching about how they literally just print IDs, like passports, IDs, all of it. And our government knows, and it's fine. It's fine with them. So who knows if that even is the real name? That's why I was hoping for, I know it's a lot to ask, a picture, but who knows if that's even the real name of who was on that plane. But I mean, if anybody can find out, the amount of people that can take the time and have the ability to research these things and find all this stuff out, it's amazing. It's amazing the network that we have. That's why free speech is super important. Anytime you guys come across free speech issues and you can repost and you can share information, I encourage you to do it because it literally, I know it's on the list of things to change. I mean, it's already, you don't know. I've had things taken down from TikTok about this, and I've been very careful. And they're just taking things down, saying that it's goes against community guidelines. You can't, and it's getting worse. So our free speech is at stake. So we need to make sure that we're all staying on top of that. Look into Popcorn Planet and that whole Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Baldoni controversy. It's a big deal. Let's see. JKHG says, when I used to sell substances, it was easy to get fake stuff. At the top of the chain was always the government, and it always is. When they don't want something happening, they stop it. So anything that's allowed to happen in our country, around the world, that affects our country, it's because our government or agencies benefit in some way. Okay. I think Candace is coming back.
That if you want to make this work, we can do this today. We can do this tonight. We can do this at 1 a.m. We can do this tomorrow, the next day. We can do this through the end of the year. Anytime, okay? Just send me a link and we will appear virtually, which is entirely plausible. This is something that we desperately want. We are incredibly committed and sincere in wanting to get answers. We do not believe the official narrative. I've made that clear. And we do not understand why you guys seem to be trying to protect the official narrative as opposed to joining us in prodding it, okay? I am just saying how the entire world feels. I'm giving voice to how the entire world feels outside of your donor class. Anyways, it's pretty obvious the call went out. Again, this was some sort of a PR maneuver. That's why they're sending out Cam Higbee. They're laughing at everything that we say, everything that we do. That's kind of their new shtick is like, we're the cool kids. We're just going to laugh at you, you know, trying desperately right now, clearly, to turn my very real claim that the country of France tried to assassinate me into a joke. The Zio influencers are supposed to influence people into thinking that that is just so crazy and funny. It's so funny. And hopefully with enough of them going out and making videos and peddling the same talking point and trying to turn it into like a cultural joke, you're supposed to ignore the fact that, hey, isn't it kind of strange that neither the White House or the Élysée Palace or even the United States Pentagon has formally denied this quote unquote crazy claim? That's what Hollywood's for, right? you, all of you at home, all across the world, you're supposed to be fat and dumb and easily influenced by celebrities. Because, like, don't you have any famous friends? Does Candace even have any famous friends? Like, don't you want to be cool? Don't you want to hang out with famous people? Famous people say that that assassination attempt is just funny. That's just like an SNL bit. Anyways, the always relatable Ben Shapiro is trying his luck at humor as well regarding my assassination attempt. He appeared on Greg Gutfeld's show, and he decided to promote his appearance with a little jab. Take a listen to Ben.
As you can see, I'm sitting in Greg Gutfeld's seat. But why, you ask, would this be happening? The answer is I called French intelligence, and something may or may not have happened to Greg.
Oh, wow.
It's hilarious. Laughing about actual violence is apparently hilarious so long as it comes through in the context of humor. You know, all is fair in love and laughs. And Greg Gutfeld, after all, is a comedian. So they're not being tribal at all. They're just being funny. Remember, I don't make these rules. I just follow them. And so I'd like to show you another comedian from my tribe. His name is Ace Smart, and he's going to make a funny too. And remember, it's never violent as long as we're telling jokes and it's said in front of a comedian. Take it away, Ace Smart.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem.
I wonder if I slap the out you, would that be anti-Semitic? Because I don't want to be anti-Semitic. I just want to slap the out you. Shut the up. I'm so sick of you cornball ass trying to stay relevant in front of that podcast equipment. Shut the up. You want us to go to work and grind for the rest of our life while you sit in front of the thing and sound intelligent? Shut the up. I speak for everybody that ever woke up on the Monday morning. Shut the up.
Passionate, hilarious, relatable. It's funny. As long as it's a joke, it's funny, right? French people colluding to assassinate people is very funny. French intelligence. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, more to this PR effort to, I don't know, suspend rational thinking. I think maybe they have worked so hard to poison us over decades and to dumb us down in the classroom that they're testing. They're seeing right now, if they just keep repeating things over and over again, if we will just suspend our rational thinking altogether and follow them. I think that's it. That's what it must be. And Frank Turek has come out and he's telling us that Blake Neff, we should, even though he seems very insincere, you should know that Charlie told Frank, that actually Blake Neff is the smartest man that he knows. Trust the science. Take a listen.
The night before Charlie was murdered, and I'm not just saying this, but I went into his office. This was after we had a meeting. You were in the meeting, Blake, me, you, Charlie, and some other folks. And he was going to dinner, and he said, "Hey, you're going to dinner with Blake and Danny." He said, "Blake is my secret weapon. He's the smartest man I know." And he loved you. And for anybody to suggest, whether it's Candace Owens or any other person within TPUSA was somehow complicit in his murder, is to say that Charlie Kirk was such a bad judge of character that he put a bunch of traitors around him. If there's anything I knew about Charlie Kirk, is he knew how to spot talent and integrity and people that wanted to make a difference for the Lord and the country.
It's all just so unconvincing and emotionally manipulative. It's so obvious. Like, Charlie said that Blake Neff was the smartest person in the world. So you should just accept that. Okay. And that's what he told me. By the way, he had a very busy night before. He told Josh Hammer that his book was the greatest thing and everyone should buy Josh Hammer's book. He had that meeting. Then he had a meeting with Frank Turk, and he was like, Blake Neff is the smartest person and nobody should question Blake Neff. It was a lot. Like they're telling us everything he said the night before, except for when he texted you guys and said that he thought they were going to kill him. Can we get to that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
We get it. Mikey's amazing. Blake Neff's the smartest dude we know. It's right here in the Bible. Can we get to the part of the evening before when Charlie said they are going to kill him, which maybe took place after all of that, all of the compliments that were paid? Guys, please stop. It's so fake and gay. It hurts me. It hurts me. It physically is hurting me. The level of fakeness and gayness that we are reaching at Turning Point USA is starting to make me go, ow. Okay? Please, I'm asking nicely. Can you give us something authentic? Because that's not going to cut it. That's just not going to cut it. How dare you question the ghost of Charlie Kirk? Are you suggesting that Charlie could have possibly not had good judgment? Am I suggesting that I've maybe watched a lot of hours of IDTV and it seems like, yeah, it's a kind of a common theme that when people die, you should question the people closest to them? Actually, yeah, I am suggesting that it's like a very high percentage of murders that are committed by somebody else they know. I think it's like north of 95% of murders. And no matter how many adjectives you assign to people at Turning Point USA, we're not going to accept this narrative, okay? We're not going to accept this narrative, especially when you're lying and you won't tell us the relevant portions. Who did he think was going to kill him? Andrew Colvett?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, Andrew? Can
Andrew
you tell us
knew.
Blake
I mean-
Neff? Can you tell us Mikey McCoy? Or was he just full of fluff? Just full of fluff at the end. Really just wanted Josh Hammer's book to be sold. You're bad at this. You want to know why you're bad at this? Because you're inauthentic. That's why. You're inauthentic. If you start telling the truth, you won't struggle with this issue. Nobody accepts this, okay? In other news and emotional manipulation, Tim Pool is having some sort of a breakdown. I don't really know what it's about. I don't know why he's tweeting about me all the time. I hope he gets well, but I do want to address this absurd point that he is making about why we shouldn't be speaking about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Take a listen.
You can come and you can
he had a
burn
meltdown,
everything I
you
have to the
guys.
ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is
cares.
true and what will help
think he
this
really
country
cares.
and what works.
He
And
cares.
she is a scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms. We're gonna lose the midterms. Then we're gonna lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason?
Because they killed Charlie Kirk in broad daylight and we don't care about your stupid midterms. We just don't care. Like, they really, this is how they view Charlie
He
Kirk.
had a
Was
meltdown.
anything in his life real? Tim Pool is going off right now because he's like, it's not the time. You guys need to be mules. You need to keep voting in the very corrupt people that are lying to your faces right now about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It is not the time because it is your job to get people into office. This is what I mean when I suggest that nothing in Charlie Kirk's life was real. So he really thinks he's doing something there. And actually what he's doing is proving my point. These people just saw Charlie as a means to an end.
Yep.
Okay? As a political horse that they could ride. And so for whatever reason, they got tired riding him. And now they're angry because they also were going to whip the horse, the ghost of Charlie Kirk, and say, we still need you to shore up votes. And it is inconvenient that people who actually cared about Charlie and saw him as a, I don't know, human being, want to know why he was publicly executed in front of us and why we're being lied to about everything. That is why Tim Pool is upset, because midterms, it's going to be my fault, not the fault of the feds for feeding us BS.
Right.
It's not going to be the fault of Turning Point USA for lying and thinking that they're brighter than us and seemingly not caring about the investigation. It's not going to be the fault of, I don't know, maybe actual politicians like Donald Trump, who's a president of the United States,
Yep.
and look us in the face and said, are we still talking about the Epstein files? No, that's not his fault. The fault is Candace Owens for wanting to figure out who murdered her friend. Don't you guys get it? Like, we're just an algorithm. why do you care so much about humans? Like, why are you a human? Like, if somebody in your family dies, you need to focus on midterms. Okay? That is the point of a Tim Pool show. It doesn't matter what you are going through at home. I want you guys to hear this, okay? I don't care if you have family members that are dying, family members who have died, if you have children that you care about and you maybe don't want to live in a world that's run by pedophiles. You need to put that all aside and vote for whoever the hell Tim Pool tells you to vote for. I just want to platform that idea. I think obviously there's something wrong with me, and Tim Pool's got it figured out. His soul seems like it's really intact and it's not for sale at all. Anyways, we'll take a quick break and get into your comments.
Oh, good, because I wanted to. I was like wanted to break in on that so bad. So here's the thing: when the institution and the agency is more important than the individual, and they're showing that over and over and over, and our government, our agencies, big business, all the way around, prove day in and day out that the industry, the cause, is greater than any one individual. Churches, religion. I'm a Christian. I'm not against a Christianity or religion. I'm against protecting the cause, protecting the industry, protecting the entity when above everything. Above everything. So that's when they cover up. That's when they lie. That's when they cheat. That's all of that. When it becomes greater than the individual, and our world is run by all of these entities that are greater and greater than any of us. But they didn't count on us. I mean, they didn't count on this. And to me, that's good news, because they didn't count on this. They'll try to kill it, but we won't let them. Awesome. Thank you. I'll look into those things that you sent, and we'll talk about them. We'll do. I'm not just going to go live stream with Candace and that. I'll do other posts and other videos and other live streams too. This is a good way for me to come in and to be able to talk about something that's very important to me, which is this and what's happening in our world right now, and the tipping point that we're all a part of right now. So, yeah, but this is a really good way for me to get comfortable. Yeah. For reasons of national security. She's back on here.
Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support
Overused
our show,
statement.
reminding you that Make Him a Sandwich is now
National
on sale.
security.
It's on Amazon, which is super exciting. Also, if you want to get 20% off the book, you can go to makehimasandwich.com and buy directly from us. And we are now shipping to Canada. And if you're looking for a signed copy, that is only available at CandaceOwens.com. Yeah, I need to start promoting my book more on social media. I want to get that to #1 on Amazon.
Do it.
We also have some new merch on the website, which I think you guys will love. We don't know what we know in different colors, which is obviously Christmas is around the corner, so that will be fun. I was going to sign some t-shirts, but honestly, that was really hard. It's much harder than it sounds. It takes a lot of time to sign a t-shirt. And to remind you guys, you can gift someone a membership to Club Candace and to our book club on the website now, which is new. You just scroll to the want to gift a membership section and you can do that. Okay, top comment from yesterday. The French are probably thinking that now would be a good time to assassinate you so they could blame it on TPUSA. Yeah, I will say that was the number top 500 comments yesterday. It was don't go to Turning Point USA, don't go to Turning Point USA. And I was actually willing to do that within reason. Like if we had a conversation and tried to plan it and book it. But I guess they never were being sincere, and I should have seen through that, because why would they? They are very obviously not trying to open themselves up to any inspection from the public. They are working with the feds to kind of bury the Charlie Kirk story. And that, my friends, to me, represents an end of an era. It makes me think about how intentional Charlie was about saying, we want this to be a youth organization. He wants it to be fresh. He didn't want to become the RNC. In fact, he wanted to take over for the RNC with youth and a commitment to truth. And unfortunately,
They had to kill
Now
him
they're trying to turn the
because
apparatus
he
into
was
the same
changing his mind
stale,
about Israel.
buy your way into the presence of someone, you do me a favor.
He would have
And
taken
it's
the youth
sad,
with him.
but I do think that there is goodness and that is coming from this tragedy. And that goodness is that a lot of people are waking up to how it works, how the whole system works, how the whole matrix works. Okay, comments. We have Deb Skates. That is a massive donation. Thank you so much, Deb. You wrote, you may need some help with legal fees. Yeah. Also, Tyler Boyer, fun little update, sends a text or something. They're all just so insincere. I don't know, sent an email and was like, what's your lawyer's email? What do you mean, what is my lawyer's email? You guys have my lawyer's email. Like, we were in communication 2 days ago, right? Like, what are you talking about? That is like go speak to your employees and your lawyer. You know my lawyer's email. Everybody knows my lawyer is Noah. So send whatever you're going to send. I don't care. I'm not going to lie to the people. I said what I said and I meant it, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Do I have a bad attitude today? Skylar, do I have a bad attitude today?
It's fine. It's a
I
fine
said I never have a
attitude.
bad attitude. Thank
It's
you.
an
I knew
appropriate
it.
attitude.
Yashira Sanchez writes, Candace, I pray for you every day. A lot of people are talking about you joining the TPUSA debate, but very few talk about the pressure and the risk that comes with your boldness. Please stay alert and stay protected. Your voice is important and your safety matters. Look, if something happens to me, really what I want to say to all of you guys is go Max.
Go Max.
Like all of you, everyone. Let it never end. Let it never stop. Like you be just as bold. I am telling you, it feels like when we are here on earth that this is it. Like we just get 80 years. That is not true. Okay. Your ancestors knew that there was more. We are in this simulation where they have intentionally turned us into a godless society because they want you to be fearful and they want you to exchange your soul because they are of this earthly realm. You know what I mean? These are Satan's children. Obviously, these are Satan's children. And they work by making you feel fearful. And so you trade off and you go, okay, well, I just want to have money and be comfortable in this life right now. And so I'm willing to let badness happen. And I guess my kids are just going to inherit that badness and this world is just going to be run by pedophiles. And we can't do that. And that's why I say to you guys, you should be going Max right now, you know? Yeah, you have to say the truth. The frequency of truth hits harder. And we hear these demons squealing. We just hear it. Like you can feel it right now. And yeah, they are dangerous. They are dangerous. But the truth will win. And the truth is more powerful than the lie. And I really feel that. And I can't let my kids grow up in a world like this with these demons in control. I can't. This is not a meritocracy. We live in a matrix. Everybody just needs to wake up right now. Oh, look, Project Constitution is in the chat. He said, I have proof now that Tim Pool uses bots. Stay tuned. Receipts dropping in the next few weeks. Go Max. God bless you, Candace. It's good to see you here. You've done some great work and hope you were okay with me editing on air. I think you thought BTU was BTT, but that's actually okay because now we can connect those two planes at the very least. Donna Barada writes, make sure you have people on your team to debate TPUSA. Don't do it solo. Negotiate a virtual meeting for safety. They're not doing that. If something happens to you, they will blame it on the French. Christ is king. Listen, just us knowing what it is and just the fact that so many people are awake to the reality that the assassination attempt was real and that if it wasn't, we should be hearing from proper channels, not Cam Higby giggling like a little girl, a schoolgirl on the payroll of Turning Point USA. That's good, guys. That is a tremendous goodness. It is a step in the right direction. It is a step into the broader awakening. Fishroom writes, I suffered through one episode of the new Turning Point. They are fake as hell and they are hiding behind the guise of religion for political power. That much is so obvious. They cannot get through it without trying to sound like they are preachers and pastors and this is demonic and your soul will, you're not going to make it to heaven if you have questions, if you question our authority. Like, what? Huh? You're not going to make it to heaven if you side with the devil, and the devil is always lying and hiding and obscuring. The truth is free, man. It's so easy to tell the truth and to answer basic questions about that day. You're not doing that. You're not doing it at all. Seven Sheets writes, the fact that your podcast went to #1 in the world doesn't only speak to their lost narratives, it speaks more to how many people are out here craving authenticity and truth. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you that right now we're kind of in this new era where only authenticity is going to float. Everything does just genuinely feel so fake and gay and performative, and it's a show, and the fake audience applause and fake laughter. And no, I just want to see that you guys cared about him. I don't need you to keep telling me Charlie's last words, and he's got a lot of last words, man. And yeah, Charlie was also a human, so also trying to mint him as some Christ who could have never chosen wrong. Oh my
Or
God,
made a
this
mistake
massive
in
employment.
judging
I know we
people.
fire people all the time, but
Yes.
Charlie never chose wrong here. What? That doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense. So it's a business, of course. There are snakes in the garden. When money becomes the motive, there are going to be snakes in the garden naturally as things get bigger. They open themselves up to corruption. And you guys are acting extremely corrupt in this moment, spiritually corrupt above all else, is what I would say. The person who uses the handle GoMax Candace writes, the propaganda machine isn't working on us. Thank God you aren't going in person. We pray for you daily. My hubby and I support you and the truth fully. America first, GoMax, Team Candace. And you know what? It's not just America, it's all around the world, right? You know, it's like the people first, the people globally first. We are so
People
tired
first.
of all of it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what changed. I don't know when the vibe shift happened where it just all feels very plastic, and I just want to like push it out of my way. Like, oh, when I just saw that fakeness and gayness, I just wanted to like, oh, you know, just like punch him in the arm. I just want to punch Blake Neff in the arm or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's so fake. Curbster writes, CPUSA is now floundering up
Non-violent.
to their eyeballs in their own crappy
air
lies
punch.
and shady actions. Them treating the public as if we are as gullible as they are guilty has sealed their fate as a corrupt company full of greedy traitors. I agree. And it's like, guys, we can see the influence campaign too. So please just stop doing it. Like, stop paying the influencers because it's a waste of your money beyond anything else. Like, they don't look cool. It's like not Regina George and Mean Girls. Like, don't laugh. You can't sit with us. We're the cool kids. It's so silly. Like, okay, I don't know who pulled.
What was that?
Oh, what was that? Who pulled that? That's hilarious. I didn't expect that. But like, I'm sorry. Who is being influenced by Cam Higby? Show of hands. Who's just like, yeah, I gotta hang out with Cam Higby. I just look at him and I can tell it's fake and gay. I don't know. It's like, I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with Adam Sosnick. So can we get to the next part? Okay, we're not invited. We can't come to the party. We can't hang out with famous people and cool people. We can't be at the Pentagon flossing like it's like the Miami Strip or something. We get it. Okay, next. Can we get something that feels real? That's what we want. We don't care, man. We just want our kids to grow up in a society that isn't ruled by gangs and criminals and people that are into kids. That's what we want, really.
Our
We'll
world
never
is
sit with you.
ruled
You
by
guys keep
gangs
sitting
and
by
criminals,
yourselves
mafia,
forever,
mob.
Cool kids. Can we get the real kids? I don't know. Jay-Z writes, the way they set
Three-letter
the time and said
agencies.
it's confirmed. Confirmed with who? Amongst themselves. A circle of their own peers, of course. So out of touch. So out of touch with the people. Pasty George writes, at first, I did not like CK because he denied all the horrible things going on in the Middle East. However, after he was gone, I started to watch his videos and I saw the ones where he started to question and doubt the ones that he was standing up for. JFK asked too many questions as well. I cannot say to you enough. I get what you are saying. And Charlie was always authentic. He authentically loved Israel. And then he authentically had questions after October 7th. And then he was authentically angry and recognizing how much control was around him. And the infiltration happened. I mean, it's like they're like proud of the infiltration. They're proud of the deception. They're proud of what their money can buy. And I don't know how they could be proud. It's just so arrogant. It is so arrogant. Lastly, we have a comment from Jerome who writes, as someone who has never trusted our history books and BS explanations we get from the government about why things around the world are happening, even if it's uncovered in the US, French, and Israel were colluding and killed CK, what power do we have to fight the billionaires or the Department of Defense? The reality is like, you got to start in your home, right? Their system is a matrix. Take your kids out of school. That's the first thing I say. it made me so happy last night when I went to an event and just ran into this woman who said, we took my kids out of school and I heard your podcast and we couldn't do it. And we were tired and I have a job and he has a job and we just did it. We made it work. And
Good.
that's what I did. I just did it. And
Yeah.
I realized if my older sister was making it work and getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning at 3:45, I think she wakes up every day to be able to keep her full-time job plus homeschool her kids. But also when I saw the joy that it returned to her life, I was like, what is my excuse? Am I tired? Yes. Am I exhausted today? Yes. Today in particular, after going to an evening event last night, I woke up in bed. I was like, I just want to sleep for one more hour, please. But the reward and the joy that it has returned to my life and knowing that I'm doing what I can in my own capacity to collapse the system, great. Stop taking their pills, right? That's another part, the pharmaceutical complex. Learn about that. Stop offering your children's bodies to the state. You can do that in your own capacity. We have that series, A Shot in the Dark, available on CandaceOwens.com for a reason for first-time parents. It will shock you.
Have you guys
I guess
seen
not.
that?
If
I
you're watching
haven't
this
seen
podcast,
it.
you're going to be like, dang. I'm not surprised at all. Everything is fake and gay. But I think for a lot of us who were invested in Big Pharma years ago, it's shocking. It'll be shocking for you. Gift that to a friend. Like I said, that came from the left. The left was on it with Big Pharma long before the right was on it. Something else you can do is stop signing up your sons for war, right? Let Tim Pool rant and scream and say, who's going to fight our wars next week? Huh? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Who's going to fight our wars? Doesn't she care? No, I don't. I don't care. Seriously, I'm so off of the government stuff. I am like, you give us honesty, you give us truth, or you can go after yourselves, all of you, everywhere, all of that, all over the world. I'm not signing up my sons as Christians to go fight and slaughter other Christians, okay? I'm not signing up my sons to believe that our biggest threat is Muslims, but we just somehow can't stop bombing innocents in their countries. We're out. We're done, okay? Send your kids, by the way. I think, Tim, you just had a child. Bless you. Hope that changes you. And, but, you know, when he comes of age, you send him. Sign up yourself. Love it so much. Love it so much. It's all about the votes, ensuring the votes. Do it. After you, my dear. After you. Or should we let Ace, the comedian, tell you how we really feel about it? Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Wow, I had to I teared up. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. That had me tear up. I mean, she's ready to die for what she believes in. That's not so much of what teared me up. What teared me up and what has been over the past 6 weeks and increasingly so over the past 3 weeks, is that it's time. Like, it's time. Like, it's not, we don't fight by sending off our children to war, physical wars. Like, the war's right here for our minds, for control of our minds, for our will, for control of our will, from our freedom. And we have to we have to stand, and we have to be brave, and we have to be courageous. And that means, you know, sharing what we know in the best way that we know how, in the capacity that we have. Like, it's scary on social media. It's scary no matter what, when you stand up and believe in something. When you believe in something, when you believe in it big enough and hard enough to stand against the opposition, to stand against the witch hunt and the name calling and the people making fun of you. But it's that time. It's so heavy. It's been so heavy, a burden upon my spirit, my heart, my mind these last couple of weeks that I've cried. I've literally cried. And it's time. It's time to band together and to do something and to speak and to stand, and not let them continue to take our minds and our bodies and our wills, and not to hand it over. And you know, Charlie was killed for that. You know, that's That's what I was saying is he would have taken, he was changing his stance on Israel, and there was good reason on a lot of things. And he would have taken that youth vote with him. And the cause, the institution to them was so much greater, of much greater importance to them than Charlie Kirk and to each one of us, because they did it in front of our face. They did that. The reason for the mistrust, for the distrust, is because they did that. And it's time that they be held accountable. And I love that there's so many of us. So I've seen some polls over on X that people have run thinking just like TPUSA, just like Blake Neff, thinking they were going to get all the support behind them. And what they're finding is there's an army. There's an army already activated in us. And the more that we can help talk to our people, to our sphere, within our sphere of influence, and to wake them up and to show them, like I said yesterday, it doesn't happen necessarily all at once, but it happens in little bits. And so if we're that little bit, if we're that little piece of information that somebody hears, and then at just the right time, divine time, they hear one more piece of information and it all clicks and they wake up, then it's all worth it. And she's ready to die for it. And so was Charlie. And I know that just, you who are here, who are listening to Candace, who wanted to come and engage here on my live, you're part of it. You're part of an army. And it's far stronger than any of the armies. They can kill the physical body, but they can't kill the spirit. And you know what? That's why this whole Charlie Kirk movement of what, show us truth, be authentic, be real, quit lying to us. They can't kill that spirit. It'll grow stronger. So let's continue to pray for Candace, for our nation, for the world. And let me look at your comments here if there's anything. I know a couple of you are chatting here online. Okay, so that's between you guys there. Go back and look at my past videos. Please subscribe. I'm on all the social medias, X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe so you get notifications. As I said, the more I do this, the more comfortable I'll get, the more I'll do it. It primes the pump, so to speak. And I appreciate your engagement here a lot. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being a voice of truth, and for standing with Candace and for standing for truth. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Feel free to drop comments. I'm going to post some things in this. So once it uploads onto YouTube for good, then I'll make a post in that, and I'll have some attachments and some things I want you guys to see. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.